you guys actually have been enjoying our creation of these videos for you guys, so that you guys can be able to understand and actually conquer when it comes to the knowledge, as the knowledge is very important. Okay, as the knowledge is very important. So now we're gonna be analyzing NASDAQ. I'm gonna be analyzing NASDAQ for you guys, so that you guys can be able to understand when it comes to trading NASDAQ and how to actually conquer and actually make the most out of it. Understand? So fine. So this is gonna be our NASDAQ. We're gonna be using the under one to do the analysis. As this analysis, you can use this analysis for scalping. You can use this analysis for long term. It's all up to you guys. So now I'm gonna be focusing on the long term. Okay, I'm gonna be focusing on the long term. So guys, if you guys can look at the long term when it comes to NASDAQ, let me just zoom out a bit. When you guys can just look at NASDAQ has actually been going to the upside. You understand? It has actually been going to the upside, creating the higher highs, higher lows. So there's a possibility. Of actually creating a new high. As you guys know that this indice, it consists of technology companies, top companies in the USA. So all those companies, every day they wake up with a mindset of actually making profit. So hence I'm saying that we're gonna be looking at creating new highs very soon. Okay. So now I'm gonna go to the weekly time frame. That's where we usually start our analysis. It is to own advantage, Let's trade according to the way I actually make this analysis. All right. So I'm gonna start here. So I'm gonna zoom out. So this is what I have on my when I zoom out my chart, and then I'm gonna be just putting lines everywhere where this thing turned. It's gonna start here at the bottom side. They turned, went up, turned there, went down. So there as well I see a turn there happening. And then here as well I see a turn happening. Okay. And then here as well, when it was actually going up, I see a turn happening there. And then I see another turn there. Okay, and then I can actually have the last one, of which it is there. So this is what I'm going to be looking at. Okay, so if you can just zoom into this chart, this is what we actually have. You understand? So now guys, this is one thing that I've just noticed with indices. I mean, like almost all indices actually. What happens is that if you can just look on the right hand side here, we have the numbers, right? We have 16,000, 15,000, 14,000, 13,000. So what I've noticed about this is that it always turns around 100 numbers. By saying that it always turns around 100 numbers, you see now I have 13,000 there. I'm just gonna make it 13,000 straight and remove that extra 5. Okay. Then here I have 10,646. I'm just gonna move it a bit up and make it 10,500. Okay. There. 10,500. Then with this one I can say it's 13,700. I can say it's 13,700 there. And then here we have 14,000. Let me just put it at 500. Okay, fine. Then here I can say it's 15,000. 15,300. And then here I can say it's 15,900. Okay. And then the last one I can just say it's 16,700. As time goes on, you'll get to understand why I'm actually doing this. Okay. Weekly time frame I have on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, currently we're seeing that this thing is actually going to the upside, like that. You understand? It's actually going to the upside. So previously, guys, it's very important to understand the structure of the market. Previously, we were on a downtrend, and right now we're actually going up. And how do you even like see this? Because like the most important thing is to understand the structure of the market. If you understand, if like we're going down, creating lower lows and lower highs like this, and then all of a sudden we'll start switching from creating lower highs and lower lows to creating higher highs and lower highs. Understand? So this actually shows us that right now we have actually switched from being on a downtrend. We are now continuing going to the upside with this uptrend. So now, okay, fine. Since we have this, where do we find the market actually actually making most sense? You understand? Because basically, this is what we call zones. So if like I draw a zone here, this is a point of an eye. If like you use your eye, if like you understand, we basically just looking where the market actually made a lot of turns and then just draw a zone there. As you can see here, the market turned, went down, turned, went down, went down, went down, went down again. So this zone is very important. So that's why I'm actually drawing a zone there. And with this current one as well, if like I can just draw another zone here, I can see that okay, previously the market turned, went up, went up, and then went down a bit, and then it turned twice. There go. This is another critical zone. This is another critical zone of the market that I'm actually looking at. So right now I'm just gonna draw my trend line. I'm just gonna draw my trend line from here. Okay, and then obviously like I'm going to clone this to the upside so that I have a double barrier of these trend lines. So now I have a channel like this. You understand? Here we have first touch, second touch, our third touch, the market just bounced and then went to the upside. Let's go down to the daily time frame. Going to the daily time frame, everything makes sense. Okay, just gonna adjust the top one. Just put it like that. Let me just adjust this. Okay, as you guys can see here, we had so many touches on it, and then the last one we actually turned and then went to the downwards. So basically we have this right on the weekly as well. So guys, now I can just zoom in here. What I'm actually saying, it's sort of like a channel of a downtrend of the market actually coming down. So basically that's what actually happened last week. Last week we saw the market actually doing what? Last week we saw the market actually turning on that area there. Okay, let me just adjust this one at the bottom. Okay, fine. Last week we had the double confirmations. We had this trend line here on the top side, and also we were inside a zone. That's why we saw the market actually turning there, and we turned exactly. If I can just zoom in, guys, you guys can see that we turned exactly at 15,300. That's why we turned, and the market actually came back down. Okay, so this is what I actually mean, guys, when I say that you guys will have to understand. So how do we use these 100 numbers to our advantage? For in this case, the market actually was entering this zone, and there was 15,300 there, so that's where it turned, right? So when you have a 100 number and you are looking forward to buying, let me just say you're gonna buy at the 100 number, right? Where do you put your stop loss? You measure 40 points to the bottom. Let me just say you're about to buy. You wanna buy at 13,700. Okay, fine. It's a zone. Probably it touches the trend line. Where do you put your stop loss? So you're gonna measure up until 13,640. Let me just go to H4 so that it makes sense. Okay, and you guys can be able to see it clearly. Okay, let me just say you wanna buy at 13,700 and there's a 100 number there. So where do you put your stop loss? You measure 40 points to the bottom side. From 13,700, you're gonna measure up until 13,660. Okay, that means then your stop loss, you can put your stop loss anywhere below this zone, so that you are safe. You understand? If like you're buying there, you don't have to stop loss at 13,660. You can stop loss anywhere below. You can stop loss at 13,650, 13,640. It's all up to you. But then I suggest that you stop loss at 13,640, 60 points from your entry point. And then there's something we call a pre-entry. What is a pre-entry? A pre-entry, because sometimes the market doesn't come and touch the 100 number exactly. A pre-entry is when you actually push it up a bit to 710, sorry. It's when you push it up to 13,710. That means then you're gonna be buying at a pre-entry before the market actually touched the RB number, because sometimes it doesn't come back to touch it. It just turned before it. You understand? So that means you're gonna be buying there, and then you still the same stop loss, and then you're gonna be aiming for the next zone to take your profits. So now, another thing. So now, because like I feel like in the market, the only thing that matters the most, it is the trading psychology, right? What happens now if the market actually pushes down? What happens now if the market actually pushes down and it seems like it's actually going below that zone, and probably like let me just say, for instance, you were not too quick with that entry. Still, let me just say you stop loss at 13,640. What happens now if the market is below there, and then you see the market is still inside that zone, but then it is past the 100 number? How can you enter it? Put a buy stop here. Put a buy stop at 13,680 there, so that when the market actually comes back up again, right, it actually activates that buy stop, and then it goes with you the same time to profits. That's how you trade. That's how you trade. As long as the market is still inside that zone, you don't have to execute at a market price, like take a buy at market execution. No, you don't have to do that. Just put a buy stop inside that zone, just above the current market price. Just put a buy stop there, so that when the market actually comes back up, it actually activates that buy stop and you're in profit. Or you can just put it above here, so that when it comes back up, it activates your buy stop and into profit with you. I actually say there. Okay, now let's look at examples of the current price of what the market actually did last week. So here we have 15,300, right? We are still inside that zone. So let me just say you sold at 15,300 there. Where were you going to put your stop loss? Remember, I said the stop loss, it can be anything from 40 points to 60 points. But then I prefer 60 points because that one is much safer. So that means then I was going to stop loss at 15,360, sorry. So the market came all the way up until 15,348. I would still be in that trade. You understand? Okay, fine. So now I'm going down with it, right? So now, what happened here? The market actually passed me a bit and actually went all the way to 15,340. I was going to put a buy stop. Where do I put a buy stop? I put a buy stop there. A sell stop, man. I put a sell stop. Sorry about that. It's not a buy stop anymore. It's a sell stop. Stop there. So I put a sell stop there, so that when the market actually comes back down, right, it finds me while still in the zone, and it actually activates my sell stop. And then where's my stop loss? My stop loss is still at 60 points, and then that means then I would be going down with this trade. That means then, remember, from zone to zone, right? That means then I would be going down with this trade. So now, where do we have another zone in between this? Because now we have moved from a daily time frame, right? We are no longer on a daily time frame, so we're no longer going to be focusing mostly on the daily time frame, because some of the zones, when it comes to the daily time frame, they're not visible. You understand? So hence I'm saying that let's go down to 4 hours. When we go to 4 hours, we're going to zoom out. Now we are looking for the zones in between. So when I look at this, I can see that, okay, this was a zone here, because the market turned previous times. Okay, let me just do it like this. If like I go here, I can see that this is a zone, because the market turned so many times on this area here. Turned multiple times before it actually shot to the upside. So that zone is very quite important to me. So right now, this is the zone that I'm actually going to be looking at. Then I'm going to look for my 100 number. Okay, I'm going to look for my 100 number, the one that I have close by. So number one, I have 900 there, and then I also have like 14,800. But then between these two zones, there's only one that's between these two 100 numbers. There's only one that can actually be able to work. You understand? So what I like doing is that I like taking out, let me just say maybe I have 300 numbers in the same zone. I like taking it out, and then you know what I actually focus on? I focus on the swing lows and the swing highs. Focusing on the swing lows and the swing highs, that means that I'm going to be focusing on this area whereby like the market actually created a swing low before it actually shot to the upside, right? This is the most recent one, and I'm also gonna, this is the most recent one, so I'm going to be focusing on that area only, of which that actually puts me at 14,800. Understand? There I have it there. For pre-entry, I have 14,810. Okay, so this is the one that I actually have here. So I'm just going to be waiting for this market to come back down once it enters the zone for taking those buys. Okay, so another swing low, it's that one. So if you can just see there, you'll see that, okay, fine, the market actually previously it actually created before it shot up. So right now that area is now acting as a resistant area. Let's go to each one and actually investigate this much further. Each one, you see each one, it was sort of like a support, got broken, turned into a resistant. So that's where the market actually turned when it came down. So how are we going to enter this trade? Just going to put this here. Once we break below this, I know that we're coming here. Once we go back here, up here again, I know that I'm going to be looking forward to taking those sales again. Then what I'm actually going to do now is that I'm going to draw this here. Okay. Okay, like that. Now I have that right. But then I don't like focusing on the short term, I like focusing on the long term actually. So as I'm saying that, I'm not going to be focusing on this. I'm not going to be focusing on the short term. I'm going to be waiting for the market to come back to this area here. That's why I'm going to be taking the long term buys. For now, I'm not going to be taking that. Okay. So now for those who want to scalp this, they can scalp it. Like if it breaks above here, you know that it's coming there. You understand? If it breaks below this area, you know that it's coming into this zone. But then it's gonna be short. It's gonna be a short trade because like it's near to the zone. Okay. So that's all I'm gonna be focusing at. So this is how you analyze it, guys. But then if like you wanna filter out the noise, you can just remove this. This is not necessary. You can just remove this short-term trades and scalping trades and just focus on the long term. Just focus on the long term. The long term is gonna be long, and it's actually gonna yield a lot of profits with less risk. You understand? So yeah, the daily, I have a W pattern that has just broken the neckline. So now we're coming back for a retest, and I believe that we're gonna break above this. Just continue going to the upside. That's what I believe in. So yeah, okay, this was Tola. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.